In this video, we're going to see how we can use the temperature and humidity data collected from the sensors into our data lake and use it for the purpose of doing an exploratory data analysis or EDA, as well as try to do an regression analysis on the data to predict the temperature and the humidity. So I've already collected the data in the data lake, the exercise that we have already done before, and I have downloaded the data into my local drive. I now create a new Colab notebook. I've already logged on to Colab notebook, and I'll upload the data from my local drive into the Colab notebook. So let's create a new notebook. Let's name it as temperature, humidity, EDA, regression, and we'll upload the data into the Colab notebook. So I've already created a folder for sample data. If you don't have a folder, you can create a new folder from here. And in this folder, I'll upload the file. So I've gone to my local drive, wherever the file is stored, and I'm going to upload the file from the local drive. Hopefully the file is uploaded. Here we see the file is uploaded. Now what we're going to do is, instead of writing a code directly, we are going to provide prompts. And the Gemini GenAI product, which is Google's product, is inbuilt into the Colab, and the Gemini will generate the code for me. So you see how easy it is. Even if you are not very sure of the Python syntaxes, you do not need to worry. In most of the cases, the Gemini would help you out in generating the codes. So we'll do that. Only thing is that we have to give the right prompts to Gemini. So the first prompt that we are going to give is ask Gemini to generate a code to read the file, and we have to take the location of the file from here. We just copy the path, location of the file, and show the head, which means the first few records. So I just wrote in plain English and it has generated a code for me. And let's see if we run the code, whether it has read the data properly or not. Here you see where it has read the code, temperature, humidity, event process time, the process time and the enqueue time, and few other data, which is not very relevant in the context that we are doing the exercise. The next thing that we are going to do is to ask Gemini to generate a code to describe the data, which means that it's going to give me the data type that is understood from the data that is read. So show the data types of the data read. Now, many times what happens is that Gemini tries to write a code and read the data every time it is trying to execute a block of code. We don't want the code to read the file every time because the file has already been read. So if we explicitly state that do not read the data every time, then it will not read the data every time and will just take from the data frame data again. It has given me DF data types. So it has stored that what are the data types, temperature and humidity, they are correct. But you see the event process time is incorrect. It should have been the date and time data type, but it has taken read as an object data type. Now we can ask Gemini to write a code to correct this data type, but instead what we are going to do is we are going to just ask Gemini to plot a chart and see if Gemini can automatically change the data type before creating the chart. Because if we say that we want to create a line chart, it should be able to understand that to create a line chart, the time needs to be set as a date and time of data type, and then only the chart should be made. So Gemini should be able to make that change on its own. Let's see if it is able to do that. So we'll say that create a line chart of temperature against. Now we'll take the event process UTC time. You can take any one of them, but the event process UTC time is a time when the event actually got committed into the data lake. So it's better to take this time. Do not read the data again. Use data frame EF. It's again to ensure that Gemini doesn't write a code that tries to read the data again. Show, make the color of the line as orange. Otherwise, it may give any random color. Usually it uses blue color, but I want an orange color because it is a temperature data and it should have an orange, reddish kind of color. Show the maximum, minimum, mean temperature as dotted lines in chart. Okay, let's see if it is able to generate the code, and we'll also see if it is able to successfully convert the object data type into date and time data type. So generate a code. Now you can see here that it has converted the object to date time. And it should now be able to generate the line chart. Let's see if it does. Yes, it has successfully done that. And it has also shown the time, it has shown the minimum and the maximum. And intelligently, I did not specify the colors of the minimum and maximum temperature, but it has intelligently shown blue as the minimum temperature, red as the maximum temperature, and the green as the mean temperature. Very good. So let's do the same thing for humidity. Just copy this. By the way, you see that I made a spelling mistake of temperature and successfully understood even if there was a spelling mistake. That was inverted, not that I designed it that way. But as we always do, sometimes there are typos, but he has been able to uh, understand the spelling mistake and correct it and make the right chart. So this one, we are going to create temperature. Instead of temperature, we're going to take humidity. Humidity, temperature. And we don't want this time an orange color. We want a blue color because humidity means water and should be blue. Yes. And it has also successfully given the minimum humidity and maximum humidity. Okay. Good. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is we want to draw a time series chart on temperature and ask GenAI to generate a code that will predict the temperature for next, let's say, 10 time instances. So let's do that. Generate time series forecasting model for temperature against, sorry, did not intend to do that. Just want the temperature against the event process time. And process UTC time. There are many time series models like ARIMA, SARIMA. Let us see if it is able to uh, find out the specific model, uh, like an ARIMA or a SARIMA, and whether it is able to do it on its own. Otherwise, we might have to specify the model. Predict or forecast the temperature for next 10 time instances. Show the forecast in the line chart along with confidence intervals. We don't expect the forecasting to be great because the data sets that we have is not very huge. But nevertheless, let's see whether with the current data set, what kind of forecasting model can create. So it has created the forecasting model, and you see that it has automatically taken up ARIMA. I did not say, did not tell Gemini that you have to take this time series model, but just because I've said that take the time series model, it has automatically picked up ARIMA as a suitable model. Let's see what kind of job it does. Okay. So you see that it has given me the forecasting with the confidence interval. The forecasting has not come out great because the amount of time that we have is, the data that we have is not very high, and it has taken different days. Okay? And so probably what we can do is show the forecast the temperature next time instances in minutes. Leave it like this. I'll write one more prompt. Then says minutes or maybe seconds to make seconds forecast value, forecasted value along with the confidence interval. Let's see if it can do a better job this time. Okay, written lots of codes. See, it has faced an error. So whenever you face an error, uh, there is a possibility that it can self-correct the error. So it is saying that this event process UTC time, it is having an error over here. Okay. So let's see if it can correct the error. once you explain the error, it will suggest a change of code on its own, and then you can copy paste this code and see if the error goes away. You see the code error has gone away. It has automatically fixed the problem and has given the forecast along with the uh, the confidence interval for the forecast. Okay. The forecasted value is red. It is not shown over here for some reason. This forecasted value should be shown over here. Try one more attempt. It has shown given me the forecasted values, but it has not shown me in the chart. So let me again try one more time. Let's try this out. But anyway, we have got the forecast as you can see, and the forecasts are not varying. You can see it's almost same because probably it doesn't have a lot of data to think of the variation. So it has kind of given the trend, but it has not been able to check on the seasonality and other factors. So let's see if this one works. It's not able to give the forecast on the line chart, but sometimes it does give the forecast on the line chart, but it does give the confidence interval and it gives the values of the forecast on the upper and the lower limit in terms of the confidence interval. So you can see how we can use the data from the data lake and use that in our forecasting model, and where the code can be completely generated from the GenAI prompts.